They say the most beautiful women are in America. But would you believe that Poland is where stunning women and untouched nature come together? There are still countless secrets waiting to be discovered in this remarkable country. Keep watching to find out why Poland is a place everyone dreams of visiting. Americans take pride in the independence of their women, but perhaps it's Poland that truly breeds the most captivating blend of beauty, strength, and mystery. Polish women have long been considered among the most beautiful in Europe. It's often joked that walking through Kraków or Warsaw in the summer feels like stumbling into a beauty pageant. With their radiant skin, gray-blue eyes, and tall, slender figures, they're a visual obsession for many travelers. And this reputation isn't just folklore. Poland crowned Aneta Kręglika Miss World in 1989, and in 2021, Karolina Bielawska brought the title home again, putting Poland firmly back on the global beauty map. The country's fascination with beauty goes even deeper. Miss Polonia, a national pageant that dates back to 1927, still seeks to crown Poland's next ambassador of charm. Interestingly, Poland also hosts pageants for married women, like Mrs. Poland International, highlighting the idea that beauty isn't just for the young. Even more fascinating, Polish women are often said to age gracefully. They stay fit through balanced diets, regular exercise, and a strong culture of weekend outdoor activities, whether it's walking, skiing, or rowing. Don't be surprised if you spot a silver-haired 70-year-old woman in a daring dress, dancing the polka like she's still in her prime. Beyond their beauty, Polish women possess remarkable intellectual strength. Maria Skłodowska-Curie, born in Warsaw, was the first woman in the world to receive 2 Nobel Prizes in 2 different fields. Her legacy has become a national source of pride and proof that Polish women are not only beautiful, but also extraordinarily brilliant. Yet, their lives aren't all sunshine and light. Poland is a deeply Catholic and conservative country where women often carry a double burden, juggling both family responsibilities and professional ambitions. In 2021, abortion laws were tightened, making Poland one of the most restrictive countries in Europe. But this only fueled the feminist movement. The Black protest demonstrations drew hundreds of thousands of women to the streets, demanding change. Another paradox, Polish women outperform men academically, with nearly 56% holding university degrees compared to just 37% of men. Yet in parliament, they make up only about 30%, and at home, they still spend twice as much time as men on unpaid domestic labor. That's the essence of Polish women, stunningly beautiful, yet fiercely resilient. One day, she might wear a crown on the Miss World stage. The next, she's back at the office, in the kitchen, or marching in protest for her rights. It's this blend of elegance and resistance, beauty and grit that makes Polish women some of the most fascinating and enigmatic figures in the world. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're still watching. Polish women are so strikingly beautiful, they turn heads across all of Europe. But here's an interesting thought. If women are the face of Poland, then nature is its soul. And that soul is often overlooked, hidden beneath the image of a conservative Catholic country in Central Europe. Located at the heart of the continent, Poland borders Germany to the west, the Czech Republic and Slovakia to the south, Ukraine and Belarus to the east, and the Baltic Sea to the north. With an area of roughly 312,696 square kilometers, it ranks as the 9th largest country in Europe. Home to over 37 million people, mostly ethnic Slavs, Poland's official language is Polish, a tongue so grammatically complex that even native speakers sometimes struggle with pronunciation. But what truly surprises visitors is Poland's nature. It's one of the few countries in Europe that still has primeval forest, like Białowieża, an ancient woodland recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Stepping into it feels like stepping thousands of years back in time, into a world where the European bison, the continent's largest land mammal, still roams freely. Once believed to be extinct, these majestic animals now thrive in Poland, protected and living in the wild. There's a place in Poland where, they say, winter lingers a little longer, just for it. Welcome to Zakopane, the country's winter capital, nestled at the foot of the Tatra Mountains. Located in the Podhale region of southern Poland, just about 85 kilometers from Kraków, Zakopane is a small town with a population of under 28,000, but it welcomes over 2 million visitors each year. The Tatras, Poland's highest mountain range, are crowned by Mount Rysy at 2,499 meters and straddle the border with Slovakia. These peaks lie within the Tatra National Park, which spans over 211 square kilometers, 70% of it covered in forests and alpine vegetation, the rest made up of highland meadows, rocky ridges, and glacial lakes. There are more than 275 kilometers of hiking trails in the park, but with one charming rule: no motorized vehicles are allowed. If you want to get around, it's either on foot or by horse-drawn carriage. In winter, Zakopane transforms into a skiing paradise. Snow blankets, traditional Highlander-style wooden cottages, while warm yellow lights glow through frosty windows, straight out of a fairy tale. When summer arrives and the snow melts, it reveals lush green valleys and crystal-clear lakes. The most famous of these is Morskie Oko, or Eye of the Sea, a wide glassy lake that mirrors the sky and peaks so perfectly you feel like you're staring into another world. Even more astonishing is the region's biodiversity. This is home to bears, lynx, wolves, and most notably, the Tatra chamois, a rare mountain goat species found only in this part of the world. Ask any American traveler who's been here, and they'll tell you, take the right quiet trail, and you might just lock eyes with a silent bison or a curious chamois, watching you from the trees. If you leave Zakopane in the south and head northeast, you'll find yourself in a completely different world. Masuria stretches across the Warmian-Masurian voivodeship, near the borders of Lithuania and Russia. This is a strange and fascinating natural maze. Over 2,000 lakes, large and small, connected by rivers and canals. It's known as the Kingdom of Sailboats because in summer, tens of thousands of white sails fill the waters, making this the #1 destination for those who love kayaking and yachting. What's interesting is that Masuria isn't noisy like Venice or Amsterdam. Here, you can row for hours between two forested shores without seeing a single house. Some lakes are so vast that, standing in the middle, you can't even see the other side, like Lake Sniardwy, which covers more than 113 square kilometers. And the most surprising part, in winter, the entire lake system freezes over, turning into a giant natural ice rink where people skate and ice fish right on the thick ice. Masuria isn't just about nature. It's also deeply tied to history. This region was once the site of fierce battles during both World War I and World War II. Near Lake Mamre, you can still find ruins of former Nazi military bases. It was in the forests of Masuria that Hitler built the Wolf's Lair, a secret headquarters where he spent most of the war. In Masuriya, local laws allow wild camping in many forests and lakeside areas, as long as you keep the place clean and respect nature. That's why every summer, thousands of tents pop up along the water's edge. From the Masurian Lake region, if you continue heading north, you'll reach the Baltic Sea. Poland's coastline stretches nearly 800 kilometers, curving around bays, peninsulas, and old seaside towns. One of the most well-known destinations is Gdańsk, a port city with centuries of trade history and its signature red brick architecture. But the special thing isn't just the city, it's the beaches themselves. Locals believe the Baltic is the Amber Sea, and they're not wrong. After every storm, when large waves crash onto the shore, you can often find golden pieces of amber mixed in with the sand. Many residents of Gdańsk and nearby Sopot still keep the habit of walking along the beach early in the morning, bending down to pick up tiny fragments. Unlike the crowded beaches of the Mediterranean, Poland's Baltic coast remains largely untouched. You can find stretches of sand dozens of kilometers long, almost completely deserted, lined with pine forests that reach right up to the edge of the sea. In summer, Polish families often bring tents and camp directly on the sand, staying for days at a time. In winter, the Baltic winds are bitterly cold, but it's also when you might witness patches of the sea beginning to freeze, an extraordinary sight rarely seen elsewhere in Europe. Besides amber, this coastal region is also famous for the Hel Peninsula, a narrow strip of land jutting out into the sea, only a few hundred meters wide, with beaches on both sides. The Bay of Puck, near Gdańsk, is one of the few places in the Baltic where you can still spot gray seals, a species that was once nearly extinct in the region. Thanks to joint efforts by locals and the Polish government, conservation centers have been established, and today, hundreds of seals are released back into the sea every year. Warsaw, the capital of Poland, lies in the central part of the country, but slightly to the northwest when viewed on the national map. This is a city that was almost completely destroyed during World War II. Over 85% of its city center was flattened by bombs. Yet the Polish people achieved the unimaginable. They rebuilt the old town brick by brick, wall by wall, using 18th century paintings as references. Thanks to that effort, today's visitors can stroll through a district that looks like it came straight out of the medieval era, even though it was actually reconstructed less than 80 years ago. It stands as one of the most remarkable stories of urban revival in Europe. Kraków, located in the southwest, offers a very different memory. Once Poland's royal capital, the city is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its main square, Rynek Główny, the largest medieval square in Europe, is so vast it can take nearly half an hour to walk around it. Kraków is also tied to the legend of the Wawel Dragon, a creature said to have been slain by a knight on the banks of the Vistula River. Locals still tell the story to children as if it were true, and at the foot of Wawel Castle, you'll even find a dragon statue that breathes fire on the hour. Traveling farther west, you'll reach Warsaw, a city known as the City of Dwarves. Scattered throughout its cobbled streets are hundreds of small bronze dwarf statues, each with its own story. Dwarfs playing music, holding beers, studying. Originally a subtle symbol of anti-communist resistance, they've now become a quirky attraction that turns the city into a treasure hunt for tourists. If you prefer a more peaceful atmosphere, Western Poland also offers historic German castles in the Silesia region and natural spa towns with mineral hot springs. And Poland doesn't only have mountains, lakes, and the sea, it even has a desert. Yes, the Błędów Desert, located between Kraków and Katowice, spans nearly 33 square kilometers and is often called the Sahara of Poland. It's one of the few true deserts in Europe, where winds whip through the sand and the landscape feels completely unlike the typical image of Poland.